Flags on state office buildings flying at half-staff today in honor of late Governor Mario Cuomo. His family has finalized plans for a funeral Tuesday at St. Ignatius Loyola Church on Park Avenue. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer spent years covering the former governor and now has a look at the Mario Cuomo few saw.
The Mario Cuomo the public saw was a man who made it a hallmark of his persona to be neatly and carefully dressed. Crisp white shirts, business suits, and shoes that he proudly admitted he polished himself every night. But growing up in Jamaica, Queens, the son of Italian immigrants who had a grocery store, was not easy.
I never roller skated. I never ice skated. I never had a bike. I never went skiing. I learned to play basketball and baseball mostly on my own and a little rough football. Nobody ever taught me the social graces.
And the man whose prose was like poetry, who had a deep curiosity about philosophy, whose hero was a Jesuit theologian named Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, actually learned to read by picking up books at the junkyard.
I learned about lesbianism, the well of loneliness, Radcliffe Hall.
From a book from a junkyard?
From a junkyard, Radcliffe Hall.
Cuomo didn't like to deviate from his business suits and carefully knotted ties, but every once in a while he'd don a dashiki or a funny hat. And there was that moment the day after he first won the governor's race when he went jogging and talked about taking on then-President Ronald Reagan.
I will be a voice here now arguing to correct the president's policy to do more justice for the people we have living in our state, who are disproportionately old, weak, women, small business, all the people who are hurt by Reaganomics.
Mario Cuomo was actually a progressive decades before Bill de Blasio made it the watchword of his mayoralty. And it was that vision that inspired generations to take up public service.
He was able to marry morality and politics in an interesting way to convince people they could do things. Mario Cuomo is the last of his kind. His hair was not blown dry. He didn't have a bunch of spin doctors running around telling him what to do. He spoke what was on his mind. He did what he thought was appropriate.
Mario Cuomo was also a study in contradictions, a devout Catholic who fought the church hierarchy on abortion, a man of moving speeches who admitted,
I have never liked public speaking.
Excuse me?
I have never liked public speaking.
So I could tell you the story about how Mario Cuomo's plane was hit by lightning on the way to give his famous anti-abortion speech at Notre Dame, or about his outrage at moving into the governor's mansion and discovering the master bedroom had mirrors on the ceiling. But I prefer to remember Mario Cuomo as the man who would call me up at 6 a.m. to yell at me about a story, but who also demanded to give the toast at my wedding. Actually, he offered to give me away to anybody who would take me away from Albany.
Marcia, that was a great look at the life of Mario Cuomo. Thank you so much for that.
And for more on the life of Mario Cuomo, go to our website, cbsnewyork.com.